That was rude. That was pretty fucking rude.
We're officially one day after Nehemia's death, or A&D if you will, and I'm a little upset because how is it that simple? I thought this was gonna be like at least they don't know for the rest of this book who did it, or maybe until the end. But all of a sudden, our girl is just bed rotting, and then she's like, "Wait a minute, I know whose MO this is. It's Grave." Who thought about Grave? I barely thought about Grave when he was still in the story, and then Grave. Oh, okay. Oh, he did it. He did it. Oh, and this guy, he ordered it. Yep, that's what happened. Yep, that's it. Nehemia. You're giving Nehemia such a basic, unmeaningful death because Grave killed her, which I'm still in the boat of she allowed herself to be killed for the greater good. Otherwise, I don't think he would have been able to do it. Celaena found him so quickly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed. Why Grave? Of all people, this freaking, then it's one chapter and she figures it out. Like, you took away all the suspense. Like, am I happy with the scene of her, killing him? Sure, yeah. Am I happy that she brings in his head? Yes, I am. But I'm not happy that it was just so simple. Like, there's no stakes. Like, it's just like, okay, well, this random person killed Nehemia. It wasn't some giant, huge plot. It was just this guy got in an argument with Nehemia. She's the princess. Like, they want to do certain things. And then she's killed inside of her chambers. And all her guards are dead. You're telling me Grave was skilled enough to kill all of her guards? I don't know exactly how many guards there were. So maybe if there was just one, okay. But from what it seems like, there was multiple guards. So you're telling me Grave killed all of the guards? Highly trained military to guard a princess. You don't just send in your random Andrew to, you get what I mean. You don't just send in like a random. You're sending in someone who's very qualified. Or I don't know how this universe works actually, because Chaol is the guard, the captain of the guard, and he doesn't seem to be qualified. He's over there getting kidnapped and pulling the attention of Celaena when she could have been in the castle. She probably would have been with Nehemia and saved the bestie from being murdered. But I don't know, they were in an argument, but whatever. Tomatoes, potatoes. I don't know. I don't like where this is going. I don't like it. And ironically, the only one that I'm like happy with is Dorian. I'm going through a roller coaster. I didn't like Dorian, now I like Dorian. I liked Chaol, now I don't like Chaol. Celaena, you know what, girl, you're grieving. You get a pass, you do what you want. Why did we have to talk to Mort? I don't care if he only had one sentence. My girl just died and you're putting that annoying fricker in my face. Please don't do that to me. But then he mentions gods. Now we're bringing gods into this? I never hear them mention gods, and now all of a sudden there's gods in this. So now I have to think about them, and you're gonna anger the gods. Like, is this gonna be like in Fourth Wing where like the gods kind of matter but not really, or is this gonna be like a when the Moon Hatch situation where the gods play like a big role? Let's not talk about when the moon hatched. Strike that from the record. But yeah, I don't want to stop reading because I want to know what happens next, but I feel like I'm going to be disappointed because it's like, tell me the bestie Nehemia didn't get bested by freaking Grave? Please tell me that she died intentionally, or that that's not really her body. I don't know. Oh, I'm done. So I'm kind of confused. Let me catch you up on what I've been reading. Nehemia, R.I.P. I miss you every day, girl. Celaena goes to talk to Mort. She figures out that, you need to turn the sword around, look through the little peephole, and then like align it with the hole on the wall, and there's like a riddle on the other side, and she's ruminating on it, right? She's like, she's thinking. Of course, Mort, useless Mort, just knows all the answers, but refuses to part with the information. Just tell me the answer. Especially because I know what the answer is, so it's like, could have saved so much time. We could have made so much more progress if we were just forthcoming. Feel like this was her attempt to have like a sorting hat moment. You know what I mean? Like that series. Anyway, Selena's doing that. She goes to Baba Yellowlegs to get some answers. Like, because Mort made a comment about, oh, maybe someone that had a sight, a seer or something, could tell you your answers or decipher this riddle for you. She's like, you know what? Great idea. The circus is in town. I bet this lady will help me. This lady I don't know, whose credentials I don't know. Why would you trust that person? No hate to carnival goers, but this is a fantasy carnival. You're gonna trust a fantasy carnival lady? Okay. So she goes, and of course you can't trust the carnival lady. Of course you can't. Whips her with a freaking chain, smacks her, cuts her open, ties her up. She's gonna try to like stuff her in an oven and eat her. And apparently she's been doing that for like 500 years. Girl, you can't trust these carnival fantasy people. These fantasy carnival people, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. Regular carnival, sure. These kind, no. She should have known. I knew. And I'm not an assassin from Otterland, alright? And I knew. Like, come on, Selena. Some brains, please. You know what? She's in mourning. She is in mourning. I will give her a pass. This lady tries to Hansel and Gretel turn her into a pie. Selena fights back. You know, she was trained with the assassin. She can get out of a little bind. She gets out of it. This fast forward, the fight was pretty entertaining. But so we went from Hansel and Gretel, and then we went to Little Red Riding Hood. She goes all huntsman on her and chops off her head. I guess Sarah J. Maas loves these freaking fairy tales. Forgot to tell you, they're talking again. They're being buddies again. Possibly going to be more, which I'm not happy with, because he was supposed to be with the bestie Nehemia. In my mind, he is her widower, even though they never, like, even hold hands. She's just gonna flip-flop between these guys. Is that gonna be the whole series, her just flip-flopping between Dorian and Chaol? Because I imagine Chaol's gonna get out of her shit list in the future. And there's, like, the hidden library. They talked about that in the first book. She finds it, and inside of it, like, she finds this stone, onyx stone, and it's, like, it, like, sucks the life. It's, like, I think it sucks, like, the magic, too. Yeah, and then, like, her magic from her necklace is, like, not really working like it should. And there's a beast in there. This freaking thing that had the hood that was in the library that Selena had seen before, but she went, if I can't see it, it can't see me. Well, the reason why it didn't attack her then was because she had the Eye of Elena, and she wasn't near this, like, stone. So her magic was working from, like, the necklace. And then it also doesn't like light. It doesn't like fire. It doesn't like any of that. So it couldn't attack her because it couldn't get close to her, right? You're following? But now, there ain't no lights now. And poor thing, it was a science project, basically. It was, like, tortured. It was made. And it doesn't know kindness. It just knows pain. And people bring pain. So it sees Selena, and it hasn't eaten in a while, okay? It's been down there. It's been down there eating rats and other things. I don't even want to think about it. Poor thing. Attacks this thing. Obviously, it's a monster. The monster attacks Selena because it's like, I'm hungry. Give me some food. And yeah, she has this fight. Dorian had followed Selena down into those, like, catacombs or whatever. And he just, like, he's scared. He can sense that something is wrong because, you know, he's magical. So he can sense, like, his body is, like, telling him to run away because his powers not work, right? So his body's telling him to leave. So he's like, Selena, come on, let's go, because he doesn't want to go in because, you know, he's scared. But he hears banging, and he's like, oh, shoot, now I gotta go see what's happening. So he goes, and Selena's running towards him. He's, like, walking towards finish, like, go. This word marks to close door. He tried using his magic, but he almost burned himself out. But Selena doesn't have such a, oh my god, moment. It's more like a, you got magic, huh? So it's like, I guess she was around magical people before, so it's not going to be like being in medieval times and seeing electricity for the first time. So after they are able to kill that creature, well, Selena and Dorian go and they have, like, this little powwow. He's being more forthcoming with, like, how he's been developing his magical skills or how it's been happening. She's basically telling him, oh, I don't know much about anything, pretty much. She'll tell him just the tiniest bits. But they're coming to an understanding. She knows that he has magic, and he knows that, like, she knows how to use the word marks and knows about magic and things like that, right? Anyway, Selena had found out that the riddle is an anagram, and so she goes to Mort and she tells him like, what does it mean? And so he just tells her it means I am the first. So that riddle is like, I am the first stone, and it's the first word stone was in the statue of Elena, and behold, it's not there. And Mort is like, oh yeah, he got it when he was 20, the king. I am going to rage. I cannot stand this door knocker. What was the point? It's like she knew she was gonna kill off Nehemia and needed Selena to bounce off her ideas with someone, but there was like no one. There was no one she could talk to, so she just created Mort, which is like, oh my goodness. It's just annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. And he's like, oh yeah, he got it when he was 20. He was a little weirdo. He was reading all these books that he shouldn't have been reading. He was always down here looking for stuff and touching stuff that isn't his. And he's like, oh, reminds me of someone. Reminds me of you, Selena. Which is like, bro, don't you need her to do all these things? What? Oh, okay. Anyway. So yeah, so he for sure has one stone. They think he has 2 stones because he was able to eliminate magic. And you can't, they're not sure if one stone would have enough power to do that. Maybe, but who knows. And he's also creating these beings, right? Like that thing that was in the catacombs underneath the library. Like that was a man-made thing. So he possibly has 2. And also the rings that the king has, that Cain had and that the Duke had, or has, they all have onyx rings. And like the onyx that was in the catacombs that took away magic powers, yeah, they had that. So that's linking them together. We know that those rings, like, absorb your magic or like hinder your magic. They're affecting you in some way, right? If you have magic, it's like doing that. Coltaine was having headaches. Okay. Roland is having headaches, right? Coltaine is off to marry the Duke. For some reason, Roland is also going over there into that same place. I'm thinking that to turn them into like those beasts too. I'm thinking that that's kind of what they were doing to Cain, is like turning him into a beast, kind of like science experiments, right? I'm kind of confused though because Selena goes and she wants to contact the dead, which is never a good thing. Don't talk to the dead. She makes like a portal. She's going to use the Book of the Walking Dead to contact Nehemia. Mort tells her, that's not a good idea, homegirl. She's like, I don't care. You're a doorknob. She does the whole ritual, but nothing's happening. She's just sitting there for ages. And then we get Dorian's point of view. And then he is like sleeping, but Gavin, the first, like the king, Gavin, comes into his dream and tells him, like, Prince, like, you need to go to Selena right now. And he's like, okay, got it, boss. He wakes up and he goes to get her. He's like, go or else you're gonna lose her forever. So Dorian, like, are they like star-crossed lovers? Like, are they written in history to always find each other, fall in love, but like it never works out? Maybe they're just fated to always find each other. Maybe not star-crossed. They will end up together. We'll see. He's going for Selena, but then so Selena does like the ritual, and then her dog comes wagging his tail, and he only gets excited when the bestie Nehemia is there. And guess who's there? The bestie Nehemia. She's like very serious, and she's like, I thought you were smarter than this, Selena. You know what? She's being the bestie. She's being sassy. She's just being sassy. She's upset. They fought, and then she died. She has a right to be upset. She's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're not supposed to. Who are you to open the gates to the spirit realm, girlfriend? You ain't nobody. You can't do that. And then she tells her, like, I'm not gonna explain so much to you. Just don't do that. Don't cross over. I thought you were smarter than that. She embraced her death. She wasn't scared. So I'm glad I was right about that. She leaves and she's like, girl, basically you got this. You gotta do the damn thing. But don't try to do this stupid shit anymore. Don't try to contact the dead. Nehemia leaves, and then Archer's there. And he's like, what the heck? But he's kind of giving evil right now. Like, I thought Dorian was going to be there. And then so I'm guessing Gavin woke up Dorian to go save her from Archer. Like, Archer's going to do something nefarious. I don't know. I thought he was okay. He was working with the bestie Nehemia. Bestie Nehemia is a great judge of character. I don't believe that Archer would be evil on his own. Maybe he's being manipulated. Possibly. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm gonna keep reading, but I just wanted to document my confusion before I get all of the answers. Okay, so I finished Crown of Midnight last night, and I honestly didn't love it as much as the first one, as Throne of Glass. Clearly, I think you could tell a lot from my reactions. I mean, The first book was the introduction into the world, into these characters. It made me love and hate them, right? It's just, this book just seemed a little off. Seemed a little off. First, I enjoyed the introduction. I enjoyed the first few chapters. I soured after chapter 29. After part one. Part one was really good, but part two just fumbled very hard. Very hard. And I feel like Sarah J. Maas didn't know what to do after she killed Nehemia. She was like, oh God, I did it. I did it. Oh my God, I did it. I killed the character that I think everybody's gonna love. What do I do now? What do I do now? Where does the story go? It felt like she was scrambling. And I feel this because of the way that the killer is found. And finishing the second part, I did an earlier check-in where I said having Grave be the one to murder Nehemia and not have it be some large plot, like part of a larger plot to kill her, was just, oh, you annoyed the wrong person and boom, you're dead. That's all it is to it, babe. Sorry about the sighting. Let me try to fix it. That's not better. Okay, I think that's better. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so Archer implanted these thoughts into the king's head, or he sent in the fake threat against Nehemia's life. He then tells the captain of the guard, which is Chaol, which is the rightful order of command, correct? Like, you're going to tell the captain of the guard. So Archer was planning that because he wanted to create this wedge between Celaena and Chaol. He pretty much just wants to isolate Celaena from all of her friends. So you kill Nehemia, and then he needs to find someone to blame it on. So he uses Grave, and then, Archer also spent time with the assassin, so he knows how an assassin would think. So he blames it on Grave, and Celaena would know his MO because Grave is very gruesome in the way he kills people. So it's gonna be obviously him. So it's Grave. The sponsor, it was Mulligan, I believe his name was. And Mulligan and Nehemia had very public disputes. They would argue about, political issues. And so it would be the easy guy. And Celaena does blame Mulligan. She's like, oh, next time don't pick an assassin that you have ties to. But it's like, girl, do you think that maybe not everyone is stupid? Maybe, yeah, so he really didn't do it because obviously why would he pick Grave? So that was an oversight on her part. But at the same time, she was grieving. She wasn't in the right state of mind. So I don't blame Celaena for that. It's just, it feels clunky. And I hate monologues. I hate monologues. Explaining everything monologue felt like you think the reader is dumb and can't put two and two together. Give us some credit. Give the reader some credit. And then the whole Celaena is Aelin. It didn't have that, oh my God moment that you think it would have. I think most people would put two and two together that she is the lost princess. Like, it was very obvious since the first book, since the first couple chapters. And maybe I'm just very perceptive, but I'm not going to give myself that much credit. I think a lot of people would put that together. So it's just like trying to make it this huge reveal. I didn't like it. And I don't like the switch of point of view. Like, at some point, what chapter was it? When they're fighting, Celaena is fighting the demon that comes through the portal. It's Celaena's point of view, then the next paragraph is like Chaol's point of view, then the next paragraph is Dorian's point of view, then it goes back to Celaena, then back to Chaol, then back to Dorian. I didn't like that. It was very clunky, and then you would have some repetition, and we didn't need that. It's just, it feels like the author didn't know how to write it from one person's point of view. We didn't need everyone's point of view. We really didn't, unless like they split off from the group, like Dorian, when he's like, if he split off from the group, then yes, give him his own point of view. But if you have Celaena and Chaol in the same room, in the same fight, we don't need both of their point of views. It was very clunky. It was very, very clunky, and I did not like it. She brought back Nehemia for all of 2 paragraphs. If you're gonna kill a character, if you're gonna have the gall to kill a character, leave them dead. Don't bring her back, especially so soon. I could see you bringing her back, like I said earlier, in a different book and just have the closure for Celaena. But just, if you're gonna kill her, just kill her. Just kill her. We don't need this, oh, we see her. No, we don't need that. And then also, another bone to pick, we're gonna have more Mort. in the next book. And I don't know how to feel about it. I know we're probably going to get more Dorian point of view because Selena's going to be in another place and he's going to be at the castle and he's going to be learning how to like use his magic, and he's going to have his tutor be Mort, freaking door knocker. But also, Chaol finds out that Selena is Fae, correct? So we find out that she is Fae. I forgot to say this. She is Fae, which I knew she would have some magical ability. I didn't think she would be able to turn Fae. Does that mean Dorian can turn Fae? Like, have a Fae form? I guess it depends how intermingled his blood is with Fae blood. Because Selena's great-grandmother, so it's still pretty recent, her great-grandmother was Fae. So if Dorian has magic and so do other bloodlines. I guess it depends how high the Fae was. But Selena can turn into a Fae image. She'll get like pointy ears and yeah, she has some crazy magic, which is, I liked that. I didn't think that was going to happen. So apparently when she was younger, before magic was shut off by the king using one of the word keys, she would have bouts of like anger and rage. Obviously she was a child having a tantrum, and she would turn back and forth between her human form and her Fae form. And so that would have gotten her caught basically the day that her family was butchered, but because he shut off the magic, the king shut off the magic, she couldn't turn back and forth into the form. So she was able to escape. And she ends up going, like, her family's butchered, right? And then she sleeps in the bed with her mother and her father, not knowing that they were killed. She sleeps with them, she wakes up, they're dead, and I'm guessing, they don't spell it out for you, but she's running away from these people that butchered her family, and they throw her into the river. I don't know if they like beat her before they throw her into the river. They throw her into the river, which at that point I'm guessing it was winter, and it was like a very frozen river, cold river, and that's where that's when the king of the assassins plucks her out of the river. She's half dead and she's frozen, and that's when he raises her. That's when she gets taken into his care. So we have those answers. And something else that was answered. Our boy Sam. I'm sorry that I thought you were the betrayer. I apologize to Sam. Apparently, his death wasn't even a quick one. He was tortured. Tortured by the guy that Selena kills. So you know what? You killed the guy that killed your man without even knowing that he was the guy. But I bet you that sucks. She wishes that she could have made it a longer death, because from what she heard, he tortured Sam. She learns this from Archer, and he's like, wow, you got the guy who got Sam. That's crazy. So yeah, you have that. Sam is not the betrayer. So it's possibly going to be that her daddy dearest was a betrayer. I wish that he's not. I want him to play a bigger part later in the books. I want him to, I don't know if you've ever read the Vampire Diary or Vampire Academy, but skip this section, I'll put a timestamp. I want him to play like an Abe Mazur character. Abe Mazur was Rose Hathaway's dad, and he comes in Blood Promise, I think. So that's the 4th book. He starts to play a character, he plays a side character, and one that really does help her and helps her along in her journey and keeps her out of trouble, or he tries to keep her out of trouble. So he plays like that figure for her, and I want this guy to play that figure for Selena, because she grew up without family, and I just want her to have someone that she can rely on. And yes, it's a gray area because he raises children to become assassins. But at the same time, what else would they be doing? Would they be begging on the streets? At least he clothes them and stuff. But it's like, then you have like the woman that raised Archer. You have the woman that raised Archer, but she raises the children to become courtesans, right? They give parts of themselves for money, right? So which one would you rather do? Would you rather be an assassin? Or would you rather do that? Which is what else are you going to do as a child on the streets besides? So you're either going to be an assassin, a courtesan, or like a beggar. You don't really have many choices if you're an orphan. So it's like the better of two evils, I suppose. And at least the assassins can buy their way out via killing people. They have food, and Selena was able to go to towns, and like she's not just stuck in like a love house or something, you know? She can leave, she can entertain herself. So is he truly that evil, or is it just how she's seeing it right now? I don't know. I guess we'll see when we eventually meet the character. I'm pretty sure we're going to meet him in a future book. Let's talk about what's going to happen in the next book. So Chaol finds out that Selena is Fae, correct? He sees her use magic. He sees her turn into her Fae form while they're on the other side of the portal. After he so valiantly went after her dog, he didn't have to do that. So Chaol gets points. I was not liking him after the whole Nehemia mess, but now that I know what Archer's doing. Anyway, he went after the dog. Thank you for saving Fleetfoot. He throws her when they come back from the portal. He throws her on the ground like, what the frick was that, girl? She explains to him what happened and that her grandma, she finally tells her like what she is, and then he wants to protect her. So he goes to his father, and the father that wants him to return to their country or their state, wherever they're from, to take back his title, because he left his title to become captain of the guard, right? He left. He wants his son to take the title back because his younger brothers aren't fit for the job. Chaol is the perfect heir, so he wants him to go back and take over. Chaol has said no, that he doesn't want to do that. He found his own path, especially since his father disowned him after Chaol wanted to follow his own ambition. He's like, okay, now you want me? Now you want me? What happened to your other boys? But Chaol goes to his father and he says, I need you to back me up tomorrow when I bring something up to the king. And if you do that, I will go back to our home and I will take my place again as your heir. And the dad is like, he's like, excellent, like Mr. Burns. Chaol proposes to the king that he send the champion to, I can't remember the name right here, I'll put it here. He wants to send her there to kill the king and his heir over there, okay? But he does this because he wants to protect Selena, and in that place, there is a Fae compound, like where they can be safe and free. So he wants to send her to her freedom, basically, so she doesn't have to come back. But he doesn't know, because Selena didn't tell him, this is where communication would be key, that Selena needs to figure out these word keys and all of like this mystery and to defeat the king, basically. And also, he doesn't know that the king threatened her with Chaol's life, that if she were not to come back in the allotted time that he sent her out to handle the mark, he will kill Chaol. Then he said he would like kill Nehemia. Nehemia, R.I.P. girl, you're already gone, so you can't hold her against him. And he would probably make Dorian's life a living hell. But he agrees with Chaol, and he sends Selena, and he likes this for two reasons. He likes this because she will eliminate a threat, and that country where he's sending her, they do take in women and children that are displaced from the war. So he's taking them in like refugees. So she can blend in, whereas his soldiers wouldn't be able to. She can slip in. And also, it would take her away from Dorian. He doesn't like their friendship or their connection. He's like, two birds, one stone. She goes, and he stays here, and he's not influenced by her anymore. But Selena ends up telling Chaol all about the word keys and blah, 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 right? He needs to figure this out. And she gives him her Eye of Elena to protect him while he's there. And that was so sweet. And then he tells her that he loves her. I thought that wasn't going to happen. Does she say it back? I don't think she says it back. She just says, I'm sorry. And then she doesn't tell him yet that she's Aelin, that she's the heir, but she gives him the clues to figure it out. And she tells him a date. And when he goes to look at all her notes and stuff, he sees the date, and he sees like the entries about when her parents were murdered and that their daughter, her body was never recovered, but she was likely thrown in the river. And Chaol remembers what she told him about Arobin, how he found her half dead in a river. So he's like, oh my God, she's not a lord or lady's daughter. She is the rightful queen of Terrasen. And yeah, he's like, what did I do? What did I do? I sent her over there. But it's a good thing. So he sent her over there to who would be her natural allies, and they can destroy the king, right? They can team up together behind her, the true heir. But at the same time, it's like she needed to be there. She needed to be in Otterland to figure out where the word keys are. If the king has more than one word key, and just how to defeat him. And she was supposed to be able to work with Dorian because she has magic and she knows how to use magic to a certain extent. She hasn't had it for like 10 years, but she's more accustomed to it than Dorian is. He's very new, but he has what she called he has a very wild and pure and just rare type of magic where he can like forcefully like with that demon that came from the portal, he shoved it up against the wall. Like it was a lot of power, raw energy, and that's gonna come into play later. I'm excited for it. I want Dorian to have a great story arc. It's gonna be amazing. I'm here for it. Next book, we're probably gonna get answers about what happened to Coltaine and to Roland. That's happening on the side. What do I think is happening? They're obviously using their magical like essence to fund something huge. They're probably creating a giant monster bigger than what Cain was. It's going to be Cain 2.0. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to harvest his body and bring him back to life, like necromancy. Like, why not? If you have these word keys, I'm sure anything is possible. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention this, the king can sense when magic is used, and he sensed when Celaena cast the portal. He can't tell who did it, but he could tell that someone did. I'm guessing that's what the ring is. So him, Cain, and the Duke all had those rings. So I'm guessing if you have the ring, you can use magic yourself, maybe. But they could sense when magic was happening. So he knew that happened. And he was like, I wonder who did it. Because Cain's dead. The Duke isn't here. What's going on? Like, who did it? So we're going to find that out. And probably the king's going to find out that his son has magic. So that's going to be a doozy. I'm excited to read the next book. I am. I just hope that it's not as clunky as part 2 was. It felt like a mad dash. Like you're trying to wrap up too many loose ends. Maybe you didn't know that you were going to get another book. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't like part 2 as much. Part 1 was really good. And it did, you know what? The revelation of Nehemia being dead was fantastically done. It's just the after. Like, Archer was he was just monologuing, and that really irked me. It was just terrible. Like, you know, in The Incredibles, and he starts monologuing. Like, that's what it was. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I am excited to read the 3rd book. I'm not going to read The Assassin's Blade yet. I'm going to read The Heir of Fire, and then I'll read The Assassin's Blade. A lot of people said I should have read The Assassin's Blade first, but because you get a lot more answers, and I guess you figure out what happened to Sam, so you're not flailing around trying to figure out what happened. I like that, though. I like theorizing. I don't want to just have the answer. I kind of want to work for it. So I'm going to read it 4th, and I'm sure I'm going to get more answers, but also I want the optimal amount of feels, and I was told if I read it 4th, I'll get the most emotion out of it. So that is what I like. I think I will finish the series. The story is interesting enough. It's just if it gets a little too kooky, then maybe I'll have to tap out. But yeah, so the first book I gave 5 out of 5 stars. This one I'll give 3.75 stars. Yeah, I feel like 3.75 is fair. It's fair. I don't think it deserves 4 stars. Part 1 would be like 4.9 stars. I loved part 1, but part 2 just, it flopped. It flopped. I also want to touch on Baba Yellowlegs. So apparently she was like a queen of her people, and that's going to come back to bite Celaena in the ass. I think when she goes to country to destroy the king, or to kill the king and his heir, I think that's going to bite her in the ass because there's magical people over there. So I think she's like a stone witch or something. That's going to come to get her because they're going to be able to sense her blood on her probably. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. So overall rating, I'll give it a 3.75. Maybe I'll raise it up when I start reading the next book, I just feel like Nehemiah's death really dampened part 2 for me. And yeah, that's a risk you play when you kill a beloved character. But I like that she had the courage to do it. It's just the execution was a little off. But yeah, so that's it for this reading vlog of Crown of Midnight. I will start the next book, but it's an ebook, so I won't have the physical form, unfortunately. But I'm going to start that tonight, actually. I might switch back and forth between the ebook and the audiobook if I like the narrator. I like the narrator for this one. I was switching back and forth, but we'll see. The next reading vlog is going to be more like in this format as opposed to TikToks, like my head floating around. It's going to be better quality, hopefully, and I hope the audio is doing all right. I'll look into getting a mic maybe in the future. We shall see. But until next time, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below your feelings. Were you shocked at Nehemiah's death? Do you believe part 2 was also a flop? Or did you actually like part 2? Did you like the revelations? Did you like the explaining? Maybe it's just not my cup of tea, but maybe other readers like those kinds of things. And you know what? That's why taste in books is subjective. So yeah, until next time, guys. Bye.